Trinity and Noah rejoined the family. Grandfather had finally come along and was talking with Aunt Eve. "Remember, from now on you have to let someone know when you're coming and going at all times," Noah said. "Yeah, that really doesn't sound like being in prison." Trinity's mood got worse when she realized how much freedom she'd lost. "The Luna has to be considerate of the needs of her pack. Your every movement needs to be accounted for." Noah sounded stern. "This goes without saying, but your little incident from last night will not be tolerated again." "What incident?" Grandfather glared at Trinity. "I needed some time with my friends. I turned off my phone and spent the day with Juniper and Paul. Then I slept over at Juniper's. It's nothing I haven't done before." "Trinity Winton, that is inappropriate behavior," he snarled. "I'm sorry I kept my phone shut off. I don't normally do that." "You need to be more responsible, young lady. As Luna of the pack, you now have duties." Grandfather was gearing up for another world-class lecture. "I don't need this right now. I'm going nuts as it is," Trinity thought. "I promise, Grandfather, from now on, I'll do everything right." "That better be the case." With that, Grandfather stalked out of the room. "Don't worry, Trinity. He loves you in his own way," Aunt Eve said. She'd tried to convince Trinity of that for years. It had never worked. "He doesn't love me." Trinity's eyes filled with tears. "He's always hated me. Becoming Luna hasn't changed that at all." Carter wrapped her in a strong embrace. "I love you, Trin. Now and always." It was a relief to have her constant protector nearby. Carter had always loved her twice as much to make up for Grandfather's absence. She hugged him back. "You guys are the only family I've ever known," she said. "I just didn't think I'd have to leave home so soon." "Noah, how can you be cool with this?" Carter snapped. "You're just going to let the Alpha take Trinity away?" "You should be happy, Carter. Trinity found her mate. We never even thought that could happen." Harsh words, but true. But Carter wouldn't let it go. "You always said someone can't mate without a wolf. Now all of a sudden we have to accept the impossible has happened because the Alpha says so?" "I think it was the mate bond," Trinity said. "I felt it. Even when the Alpha looked like he was angry with me earlier, I couldn't get the scent of him out of my head." "That sounds right." Aunt Eve sighed and stroked Trinity's hair. "My brave girl, I'm going to miss you so much." "I can still come back for a visit, and you can come here too, can't you?" she asked. "Of course, sweetheart." But no one seemed convinced that things could ever be normal again. Soon afterward, the elders and Trinity's family left. Even Noah went away. She was all alone in her bedroom, trying to process things. Soon after, a servant entered her room, wheeling a cart of food in front of him. He set out plates, forks, napkins, and knives. The dinner was fried chicken with creamy mashed potatoes that dripped with butter. There were fluffy dinner rolls, sweet baby carrots, steamed broccoli, and a decadent chocolate mousse for dessert. Despite her fear and sadness, Trinity devoured the food. Every morsel was delicious. "Noah must have told him what I liked," she said to herself, scraping the last plate clean. "I owe him one." After eating, Trinity tried to unpack her bags but found it too hard. She zipped open her suitcase and found herself wishing that Aunt Eve had packed a different blouse or pair of jeans. "I've got class tomorrow. I should try settling in. I need to adjust to all of this," she said to herself. But nothing could make Trinity feel normal. Nothing about this was ordinary. Maybe if the Alpha wanted her here, she'd feel differently. But she's seen the raw, furious look on his face. He hated having such a weak Luna. The goddess had played a trick on both of them. "I want to go home," Trinity almost cried. "I want to go to Juniper's." But she couldn't leave without permission. Everything she did had to be scheduled now. "Well, I won't let them turn me into a prisoner." She had to get out. Trinity pulled out some black jeans, a black shirt, and black sneakers from her bag. She dressed in dark clothes and tied her hair into a high ponytail so it would stay out of her way as she ran. Thankfully, no one saw her as Trinity sprinted through the hallway and down the stairs. She managed to make it into the kitchen and out the back door without incident. Trinity took a deep breath of fresh air and started to run. She skirted past the garden where the party had been held and then started hurrying down the mountain slope. The tree line was up ahead, and she'd been able to run to her heart's content for a few hours. Her muscle burned, needing exercise.
And where the hell do you think you're going?
Trinity stopped in her tracks. The Alpha sounded furious as he came towards her out of the darkness. Had he already been outside, or had he tracked her out of the house? Trinity felt foolish. I was just going for a run. I didn't get my run in this morning or yesterday. She forced herself not to apologize. The Alpha stormed forward.
Really? His voice was laced with sarcasm. After having your entire life blown up, you decided to just get some fresh air? Dressed like you're about to do some break-ins?
I like the color black, she grumbled. The mocha and earth scent enveloped her, making it difficult to breathe. That hot, throbbing lust started all throughout Trinity's body again. She clenched her jaw. Being mated was hard.
Let me make one thing abundantly clear to you.
The Alpha stopped mere inches from Trinity. He was so tall that her eyes were at the level of his chest. She peered up at him, forcing herself not to shake.
If you ever try to run away again, I will make it impossible for you to leave the house. I'll brick you up in your room if I have to.
I wasn't running away, she said, but of course, he didn't believe her.
As it is, right now you're under house arrest until the marking ceremony is done.
Why? And why only until the ceremony?
The Alpha smirked. After I've marked you, I can use the mark to track you down. No matter where you run, I'll be able to find you.
His voice held the low, seductive quality that would have thrilled any woman. But no matter how delicious his voice was, his words were enough to infuriate Trinity. She was still stunned by everything that had happened and wasn't fully back to her old sassy strength. But she clenched her fist, having to fight back the urge to scream at this handsome jerk.
Do you understand me, little bunny? The Alpha growled.
What did you call me?
I think you look like a scared little bunny rabbit. You run like one, too.
The Alpha chuckled, enjoying his joke. His laughter only made Trinity more furious. I do not look like a rabbit, she growled, and I definitely don't run like one. A rabbit couldn't have stayed ahead of that rogue wolf the way I did. Some of the smirking joy left the Alpha's face.
Do you think you can outrun me? He growled.
Trinity swallowed, her throat tight with fear. Don't worry, I'm not that stupid.
That's a relief to hear. Come on.
Trinity shrieked as the Alpha grabbed her around her waist and slung her over his shoulder. She flailed and kicked, but she might as well have been a paper doll for all the damage she did to him. The Alpha chuckled as he carried her back into the house and up the stairs. Trinity stopped fighting after a while, scowling as he climbed to the 4th floor and stomped down the hallway to her room.
Now you'll stay here, little bunny.
He easily set Trinity onto her feet. The Alpha loomed at her in the doorway.
If I catch you outside again, I might get myself a new lucky rabbit's foot.
Fine, Trinity snapped. She turned her back on him and glanced at the window.
Don't even think of going through the window. There's no balcony, and your room overlooks the ravine. If you tried to jump, the fall would kill you, he added.
Wow, a ravine. What a romantic location, Trinity drawled. I see you provide only the best for your Luna. There was tension in the air. She couldn't see the Alpha's face, but she heard him give a low, rumbling growl.
You have the finest room in the house. You're not a prisoner, he said.
That's just what I am. Trinity spun around to face him, and both of them glared hatefully at each other.
I know exactly what you mean, the Alpha snarled.
He slammed the door behind him, and she could hear him stalk down the hall.
Don't let your excitement die! The full audio series is on the Pocket FM app. Tap the link in the description to install now.